my poopsies. So today's session is going to be candle wax predictions on salt. So if you'd like your own reading, go to TonyBomboni.com, where I do offer services like candle wax reading and other services as well. Shout out to Ishmael and Sandra. Thank you, Ishmael and Sandra, for booking 30-minute or hour-long readings. If you would like a name shout out, your first name only, of course, unless you say no, then go book a 30-minute or an hour-long reading, or Reiki healing, or custom ASMR video of your choice. So I offer so many different services for you. Thank you so much. So let's begin. I have these candles to start your candle wax reading with. Pick one. Your green candle, this green spiral candle. Right now I'm going to pour the sea salt. I think it's leaking from the bottom, yeah, and so I might as well use the bottom. Strange. Energies must be strong today. All right, so let's begin the reading now. Someone's making a huge impact on you in your life. Enormous impacts here. Some of it could have like spiritual repercussions though, if you're not careful. Especially when someone tells you like, hey, I don't really like or appreciate when you do this, or when someone does this, but you or they do it to them anyway. Something that gets on their nerves. I see a trip planned here with this person, but I feel like maybe it doesn't go right while you're together at the trip. I'm not saying it won't go right, meaning you don't go. You end up going together, but it sort of just ultimately doesn't pan out the way you would expect because of this disagreement, or like they see the world differently than you do, spiritually speaking. And so this is where there could be some arguments here. But overall, I see a very bold, good energy. now that we're leaving Libra season and entering a Scorpio season, there's this very courageous energy, and it's coming through now. And I feel like even if you don't feel like doing something specifically with someone, try to do it anyway, because you don't know if they're suffering. They feel alone, and they invite you over and you say no. There's an excuse every time. So try to say kindly and respectfully yes this time. Open yourself to the opportunity to be there with this person, okay? Because we don't know when it's the last time, you know? And I feel like this person has a very switchy mind, a very switchy brain, so they may be switching it up on you, and that's why you're tired of them doing this behavior towards you, and you want to switch it up on them and say, you know what, how about I be the one to make up my mind or cancel plans and stuff like that, you know? I see a lot of people shopping. I mean, it makes sense. Holidays are here around the corner. A lot are overspending, but it's almost like telling me you're going to be abundant anyway, especially into next year. It's going to be okay anyway. It's going to be all right anyway. You'll pay off that credit card, that debt anyway, right? It's like you did, you always have, and you always will, right? You always found a way. So I think this brings a lot of good blessings and clarity for abundance here. It's almost like I see a lot about friendships and money, especially if you do lend a friend money or they really need it right now, or they want you to buy something for them, or, you know, yeah, basically that's what I'm saying. That could be where you run into issues, because realistically, maybe you can only do so much and help them so much. So be careful of that. There's new, I would say, love or energy here, but for the women, high probability of pregnancy, oops baby, with someone you may not even really expect that you should have or wanted. Be honest with the partner. Do not hide this child from them. You know, there's a lot of people that don't say anything until it's too late, you know, and then so be upfront. And there's a very good pairing energy here. I like what I'm seeing, actually. There's a very good balance of light and dark here, and it's not literally dark, it's just different type of person than you're used to or familiar with. So I think for love, this will very much be compatible, even if it's an oops child and they're not ready or prepared for children yet, especially financially. They're going to say it's fine anyway. They deep down kind of expect it or had a feeling, or I feel like they have dreams about children, and they enjoy their company. They enjoy, you know, being with you, and maybe you two only were together for that, and you didn't expect to ever end up really dating or being together. So yeah, there's a high probability for that to occur. Okay, if you're single or newly single and you're just starting out with someone or soon about to cross paths with them, they're going to be a very good match for you. And it's almost like that child is going to be your sign that it's a good match. Like, this is the one, this is meant to be. And I feel like a lot of you have been waiting on that, or maybe you just couldn't get pregnant, and then it just happens with this person one day, and you realize, oh, I'm very much fertile, and well, maybe they are extremely fertile, I would say, and that helped you definitely conceive. Okay, so I see a lot of people either starting their religion, or they're like a group they're joining, and then a lot of people leaving a group or a belief system and starting a new one. It's not that you leave and abandon it totally, but it's like you have a different, you know. For example, someone left Christianity and entered Buddhism. Example, okay? Something like that. Like something starting and then beginning, or ending and beginning, excuse me. Or vice versa, right? It could be anything, literally. I do see here, it's sort of like hardcore, like, I almost want to say like extreme belief, or like in certainty, like you have a certain firm stance, I would say, on certain viewpoints of the world, and they're not interchangeable for anything. No one can convince you otherwise. So this kind of started allowing you to form new thought, right? And we come on planet Earth, just keep in mind, to experience. No one is right, no one is wrong. No one belief system or viewpoint is right or wrong. It just is. So always have an open mind when you think something is the way or the path, because a lot of times you'll end up gravely disappointed. Meaning you'll take it to the grave and disappoint. You look back and say, damn. Either I wasted my time stressing my viewpoint on others so heavily that I forgot to enjoy my life. I forgot to live a little. I forgot that this experience in this body, this avatar, only happens once. In this time period. On this planet. In this part of the universe. Exactly. So it's almost like let go, live it up, enjoy. It doesn't matter what you believe, what you don't believe. I certainly don't care, and it doesn't matter to me, because we're all God's children, in my opinion. The universe loves us anyway. So I would say enjoy. Doesn't matter. And don't care what others' opinions are. And don't care to express your viewpoint, no matter how out there it is to some people. Just be okay with enjoying that viewpoint or that perspective on your life today, and then tomorrow you might change your mind again. So don't pressure yourself, right? There's a lot of people burdening themselves with just black and white viewpoint, and this is what I emphasize here, that you can let that go. But you don't even have to let that go. Do you see my point? Do you see what I'm trying to say here? You don't have to do anything right now. And if you change your mind, don't feel sorry for yourself. Because everything is flowing in life. You're meant to change. You're meant to change your mind. You're meant to believe in other things. You're meant to experience. This is why we're here. You don't go to school thinking you already know it all when you walk in those doors. And 4 years later, you leave very much humbled and very much realizing you don't know anything. None of us do. Myself included. So, it's almost what I'm seeing here is like your brain will be kind of twisted like a pretzel, and that's what's causing a lot of discomfort, even in the body, especially when there's a lot of contradicting beliefs. And you might hear something like this and it'll twist your brain even more, or you're going to say, okay, no, I don't agree with this, or, you know, again, it's not about me and what I say. This is spirit, okay? But I feel like as an outsider viewpoint here, removing my own personal bias judgment, that I have to say that they're right, you know? We're here to get our brain twisted like a pretzel. We're here to get mind effed. We're here to get to question ourselves. Human beings are the only intelligence on this earth that are self-actualizing, self-realizing, if you don't count the machines of today, allegedly. And we question ourselves because we are aware of our own consciousness. We are aware of the insanity of the world today. We are aware of the insanity of ourselves in this world. And our part that we play, we choose to play in it. But guess what? You have no say or control over anyone. Only yourself. How do you control yourself? Maybe you go to dinner and there's always a fight about politics or something. How do you control that tongue of yours? Because is it not sharper than the sword? How do you affect someone today? Instead of spreading hatred, how can we spread and shine the love? Especially in this holiday season now approaching us. How can we say, I will get along with my cousin who disagrees with me in my view of the world? Because I love them anyway. They're family. When they were babies, they didn't even know what religion, what politics is. They didn't even know what a napkin is, a candle, a fire. So look at them through the same eyes of love, that we've all been hurt on this walk, this path, in this existence, and that we are hurting each other through that hurt. And we just have to remember, hey, switch it up. Breathe. Focus on the breath. Get rid of that harsh side of our mind for a second and look at them through the eyes of just one of us. Just if I was in their shoes, I would say the same thing to me. So you almost have to be very centered right now. You have to be very grounded. You have to be very, very patient and calm. And there's some healing light you can send, I see here as well, to someone. You can ground and heal them through your loving words. So take a breath. Listen to what they say. Listen and hear that they are speaking through pain, just as you are. And then you can move on from the subject and say, how about we discuss a subject that will bring us both peace? How about we discuss this manner that will bring us love in this environment we're in, this home? Because we forget we're so powerful that even when we are gone and done discussing certain subjects, we leave that energy in the room. Do we not? So if there's anger and aggression, you are leaving that impression in that room of discussion. So when you walk away, others pick up that energy. So you are responsible for others. You are responsible for everything said, every action performed. So do realize your power, and you can change what you say. This I emphasize to you today. There's a very tall person, a hardworking individual. Looks like a man. And they will just change your life in some way this year. I feel like this very much feels like this year, like the end of the rest of this year type of reading, the next 2.5 months, right? So they will make a change. You're going to realize that there is light, there is hope still left, even in our fellow humankind. And that we can become that. We can look up to someone. There's someone that you look up to. They don't have to literally be tall. You can look up to them as if they're tall, right? You look up to that person. Like, you know, when you were 10 years old, there's always that one person you looked up to. Like, oh, I love them so much. Even if it's just a parent, you know, or a friend or a teacher or someone. And this is why there's that, you know, teacher-student connection. You know, there's teachers that look up to students as well. And that's why there's that connection, of course. So, because they know they're part of the future. They're the seed of the future, literally. So whatever that teacher, they say, they know that holds power. That kid will remember that for the rest of their life. So, yes, your job may only pay $50,000 a year, let's say, for example. But your words as an instructor are worth $500 billion trillion. Does that make sense? Or if you're a fireman and you just saved someone's life today, does that make sense? That's priceless. That's priceless. So stop. It's almost like encouraging you to stop looking at the numbers on the paycheck that you receive and start looking at your value, your power. Because that mother that looks in your eyes and gives you a big hug and sobs on your shoulder when you just saved their child from that fire is worth, I can't even imagine right now. Like, I'm shaking. So start looking at the value of what you do. That's the power. That's how you make money. That's how you bring more abundance. Don't make that the focus. Don't make money the focus. Make the power behind your job the focus. How am I influencing someone today? How are my words today going to have a ripple effect on this planet and make a change that's positive? This is what you should do. Even if you work at a bank, if you work at a Starbucks, if you work at a hospital, if you work construction, if you work in the Navy, you all make a difference and a change. If you work from home, yes, even if you work from home, believe it or not, you make a change. And this is almost encouraging you, stop worrying, stop pitying yourself, stop making yourself, you know what pity really means? It's like the pit of it, like an apricot seed in an apricot, right? You're nothing. Like, that's the definition, like, of a pit. Like, you're pitying yourself. You're literally in a pit, even in like a grave, in a hole. And what do you put that pit of seed? In the pit. You not only pit, you put the pit in the pit. That's how much some of you are pitying. And enough. It's like, enough. No more. Stop it. Knock it off. Cut it out. This is the energy I'm getting at here. This is not the time to do that. This is not the time to lower yourself. This is time to rise. We've all been through it in this life in different ways. We all have different pains in different ways. We all suffer equally. Irrelevance to what occurred. Focus on what the future holds, because that will bring you what you need right now. And this past pain has taught you a lot, and you may want to share some of that pain with other like minds or students, someone you want to raise, children. So there's very much older speaking to younger generation here, and this younger generation needs to, honestly, I'm going to be honest here, stop acting like they know it all and start listening more. Stop saying to their elder that they don't care or F off or you're from a different generation. No, because they learn from us at the end of the day. It's time to listen. It's time to pull your big ears and listen. So for you parents with entitled teenagers, don't worry about it. Just understand that they need to listen. Just calmly say, listen. Don't give yourself a stomach illness by yelling, by having a shouting match. Just say, you need to listen right now. I'm trying to speak and you need to listen to me right now. Can you at least listen? Someone needs to openly admit that they were wrong, that they don't know something, that they weren't certain. Because there's a lot of this energy that doesn't want to confess that they didn't know. They had no clue, they were wrong, they made a mistake, they messed up out of a fear of getting fired, kicked out, looked at differently, not trusted anymore. We're afraid, deep down. A lot of that is because we're afraid to lose someone's trust. So in some situations, they need to be looked at deeper than this person always lies to me. This person always is late for their appointment. Why? Look deeper. You'll usually find the answers there. It's not enough to see someone's actions and say that they're a piece of crap because they do this all the time. No. Why? There's a reason. Look deeper. They're not garbage because they did this or that. No. There's a deeper reason. And when we see that and admit that to ourselves, finally we can realize that we're all so valuable, so advanced that we have to question and do these readings and doubt and like, who does this? We are so special and extraordinary. Don't forget your power. We are so intelligent. Don't ever forget that. And we're not selfish to think that we're created perfectly. Any last messages of reassurance? Some home expenditures, it's okay to make now. I need this new cabinet, I need this new tiling, I need this new wall paint. Go for it. But right now, maybe not the time to be like, okay, I'm gonna buy this new, I don't know, ski set because I want to go like next year skiing in the mountains. Well, okay, wait till next year then. You know, you don't need to make those like extra unnecessary, you know. It's not that you can't, it's just that you shouldn't. Like, I feel like a lot of people will get like a lot of stuff crammed in their closet and they don't have space, then you have to donate or give it away anyway. It's like, well, what's the point, right? I might as well wait. Something like that. It has nothing to do with finance in this case. Be careful of someone hurting your feelings. I feel like specifically this week, the rest of this month in October, that goes the same for you. Beware of your actions and what you have said to this person. One of the first things you might have to learn about them is how sensitive are they? What do I need to just really keep behind closed doors? Or what can I say in front of them to their face? Because it could be someone as sensitive as you just talking smack about someone, but the insults you threw at that person, they're reminded of something bad that someone said to them that was the same way. Or, you know, maybe they have a brother that is like that, and you just insulted someone that has a brother that their brother's like that, and now they're offended because you said that. Like, super extremely sensitive. So keep in mind, discussing about others in a certain manner in front of them. This is something that they might take to heart too deeply. And there's no, I would say there's no arguing your way out of it. There's just, they're fixed and stuck on a viewpoint, and that's that. But also keep in mind, why are you fixed and stuck on a viewpoint of others, right? It goes both ways. This is why no one ever wins. This is why no one ever right or wrong. It just is. Everything is. You see? That's center. So this is what I mean by centering yourself. You need to work on centering yourself this next couple months. Grounding yourself so that when you're centered, you feel so good. There's no reason to throw insults and shade at people like that and say, oh, this person smelled or they look. Sorry, I kept talking for a whole minute and the camera shut off. Sorry about that. I'm going to repeat myself. Some of you need to go to the movies. I see like a TV, a movie, a show. Go on that date. Go with a sibling. Go with a family member. Go with a friend. You know, go by yourself. You just need to be left alone. I feel like a lot of you need to be left by yourselves for now. at the time being. And try to do different things every day. Don't do the same thing every day, because you're setting yourself up for disappointing failure. Yeah. You need to be creative, make a plan that's different. Especially if things haven't been working. You've been trying the same goal for 4 or 5 years and it's still, well, then something needs to change. Or for it to work realistically. So I hope I said what I had to repeat myself saying, and I don't forget any key points here. But that's that. Well, now I know these candles last half an hour, so that's good. I can use one of these candles for a 30-minute reading if you book on TonyBomboni.com. And guys, thank you for listening on Spotify, my ASMR albums, buying my online course as well. Thank you. You guys are really getting my numbers up on there. Thank you. We're almost at 50,000 monthly listeners. I appreciate it. So at the same time, I'm tuning in and looking if there's any other last messages. Not really. So I'm just kind of letting the candle burn out just for a visual flair and effect. All right. I don't want to burn my fingers. So that was your reading, poopsies. God bless, love, and light. Look at that. You guys wonder, do I ever keep these even in the candle bowl? Do I ever keep the wax? The answer is a big fat no, because it's energy. Why would I keep someone's energy? Why would I keep, especially sometimes, readings can get a little dark and heavy and emotional. So I don't want to keep that, yeah, so, but it would make beautiful artwork, I think. And well, to me, it doesn't really look beautiful after it's dry. It's like, it looks so crusty, but to each their own, I suppose. Okay, so that's to answer your question. You never want to keep that energy after you do readings. You always want to cleanse it out. And you guys really like this sound. Again, it's kind of just like IKEA napkins and tinfoil, so that I don't light the table on fire. So I'm gonna make some sound with this before we finish off. Thank you for enjoying your prediction reading. Or if you just like it for visual ASMR, I understand. Thank you for subscribing. I do hope you do enjoy your holiday season. It's nice and toasty, this little napkin now. It's pretty warm. I'll see you next time, eh? And by the way, this is my new onyx obelisk. I love it. Okay. Bye-bye. TonyBomboni.com. Book yourself a service. It goes a long way to help fund and support this channel. All right. Thank you. God bless, love, and light.